I was looking forward to meet my friend, my former boss, and my older brother, President Uhuru Kenyatta. In fact, when I was told he was here, I was very excited, but the funeral took a bit longer, but I'm told he had to leave for some other function. I wanted to come and greet him because I've not seen him for a while.
He owes us a goat, and he needs to call us as the leaders from our mountain, sababu hajakosa kambuzi, tuende tule, and we shall go. But I also passed and said, you had told me you would have wished to be here when he was here, but unfortunately you are where you were.
Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the backstory. If you are new here, kindly hit the subscribe button and the notification bell down below so that you can be notified when we post a new video. Now ladies and gentlemen, it seems like the Kwanza administration leaders from Mount Kenya have resigned to the fact that Uhuru Kenyatta still remains the Mount Kenya kingpin. And for them to succeed, they have to seek for his support going forward. Why am I saying so? Yesterday, President Uhuru Kenyatta attended a burial service in Tetu County where the former police boss King'ore Mwangi was being buried. So he attended this function and left a little bit early for another function in Kipipiri, where Amos Kimunya was also burying his late wife. Now, after he left, the Kwanza politicians and leaders came for the same service. They were also attending another service in another area, in Kirinyaga, I bet. So when they came, all the leaders that spoke during that service talked of having a truce with the former president, Uhuru Kenyatta.
I was looking forward to meet my friend, my former boss, and my older brother, President Uhuru Kenyatta. In fact, when I was told he was here, I was very excited, but the funeral took a bit longer, but I'm told he had to leave for some other function. I wanted to come and greet him because I've not seen him for a while and tell him it is well. He is our son. He's our brother. We had some little disagreement. It is over. Elections are over. There's a new government, and he's our leader. Myself, I stayed with President Uhuru Kenyatta for 18 years as his PA, as his confidant, as his defender. The years we stayed together as friends are 17. The ones we disagreed are 2. So, is there a problem?
Your Excellency, just before I escorted the president, the former president, I thanked him for what he had done for Nyeri. And we agreed, and I told him he owes us a goat. And he needs to call us as the leaders from our mountain, sababu hajakosa kambuzi, tuende tule, and we shall go. But I also passed and said, you had told me you would have wished to be here when he was here, but unfortunately you are where you were.
Ningetaka kukuomba kitu moja, sababu hapa tumeambiwa aliyekuwa rais wa hapo mbeleni Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta, ambaye mimi ni seneta wake, alikuwa hapa. Mimi nakuomba kama uniting factor, tuite kama viongozi wa Mount Kenya na utuitie Uhuru Kenyatta, ndio tuketi chini tuongee tukiendelea mbele.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, you've listened to those Kenya Kwanza leaders, and what has come out clearly is the fact that all those leaders are calling for a political truce with the former president Uhuru Kenyatta. And you'd want to ask yourself, why are they asking for that? One thing which is coming out clearly, if you look at the last 3 days or last week, when the Kenya Kwanza administration, led by the current president William Ruto, they went around central Kenya they were launching affordable housing projects in central Kenya, and they dubbed it a development tour. But for me, it's like a campaign for 2027. But what came out strongly is the fact that the reception that the Kenya Kwanza administration got in central Kenya is not what they expected. In Kiambu, some of the Kenya Kwanza leaders were booed. That is in Kiambu and in Murang'a. They were booed. And at some point, Rigathi Gachagua had to come in and talk to the locals in the local language so as to calm them down. There were videos going around or photos going around of the president somehow surprised at the reception that he got and how people were reacting. This not only happened in Kiambu and Muranga. Some weeks back, the president was in Meru and Embu. The same reception of some of these politicians being booed. However much the president was not booed, but most of the politicians who are affiliated to Kenya Kwanza were booed. And leave alone that booing, there is also the fact that the attendance of some of these rallies dubbed development tours was not impressive. If you look at the videos in Embu, Meru, Kiambu, and Muranga, it's not the turnout that you'd expect for a ruling regime that's got like majority of votes from central Kenya. So this points to a fact that there must be something that the Kenya Kwanza administration is not doing to these people that is not impressing them. And what is it? You know, before Kenya Kwanza administration came into power, former President Uhuru Kenyatta advised the mountain and told them that they will regret if the Kenya Kwanza administration came into power. And at some point, it was telling them that these guys have maneno matamu, 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 matamu. So it's now dawning on Mount Kenya residents that whatever the former president was telling them is true or was true. So it's like they've lost hope, and the only hope that they had, or someone who can show them direction, is the former president Uhuru Kenyatta, because whatever he told them is coming to pass. And this has given these leaders a political backlash, whereby they don't have anything that they can hold on to impress their electorate. So why are they calling for a political truce with the former president? They know that the former president still has influence in central Kenya. And for them to make it back, for them to have a say in central right now, they need to make peace with the former president so that when he speaks, he can speak for them. He can support them in whatever they are doing. But I don't know how possible this is going to be. Because if you look at the way the former president left, the Uhuru Kenyatta left that barrier, I think it must have been told that the guys who wanted to meet him, maybe Rigathi Gachagua, he didn't want to share the same podium with the deputy president. I think that is why the former president Uhuru Kenyatta left in a hurry, so that he could create some time, or he could avoid sharing platform with the Rigathi Gachagua, the likes of Mrs. Kuria, because it would have turned into a confrontational kind of service. And then another thing that you also need to note is that when he went to Kipipiri, Uhuru Kenyatta talked of, told the Kenya Kwanza administration to look forward, not to look back at what happened during his regime. And you could hear the joy in the congregants or the people who are attending this church service.
Kiongozi wa maana anashika steering wheel, anaangalia mbele. Sio kila saa kuangalia rear view ati ametoka wapi. Unaangalia mbele. Ukiwa mtu wa kuendesha ukiangalia rear view mirror, wewe ni mtu wa kupeleka gari katika yone yako igira mutaro. Wageko ni murenda gutongoria bururi. Rora imbere mumenye kuria muratwara. Mwatira na juku na ige na matari kuria mali. Hakuna pahali mnaenda. Hakuna pahali mnapeleka nchi. Nchi inataka viongozi ambao wako na maono ya mbele. Kwa sababu hiyo ndio itakuwa ya manufaa kutatua shida zile wa Kenya wako nazo.
They clapped, they laughed. It was like a kind of a jovial mood. It's like they were happy seeing the former president again, compared to the somber mood which was in Kipipiri when the UDA or the Kenya Kwanza politicians came to talk to Central Kenya voters, or those who are gone to mourn with the former police boss. So if you contrast, if you compare the two, you are able to tell that the Kenya Kwanza resident, the Mount Kenya residents still value the advice that they are given by the former President Uhuru Kenyatta. They still consider him as their leader. So that is why the Kenya Kwanza administration are still running scared. So the reason as to why the Kenya Kwanza politicians are looking for Uhuru Kenyatta is to gain some footing heading to 2027, because Uhuru Kenyatta has his political party, which is Jubilee, that he can relaunch and still have a political effect or a political tsunami within Central Kenya. Because Central Kenya itself right now does not have a political party that they can call as their own. The only party, which is UDA, is considered as a party from outside Central. So if Uhuru Kenyatta can relaunch his party, which is Jubilee, and with the goodwill that he has from Central Kenya residents, I think the Kenya Kwanza politicians might have a very hard time going into 2027 if they don't fulfill some of the promises that they made to the Mount Kenya residents. So it's like the Kenya Kwanza regime is running scared of a strong or a re-energized Uhuru Kenyatta. So it's a very interesting kind of political scene here. We're going to keep monitoring the political happenings between Uhuru Kenyatta and the Kenya Kwanza administration. Should we have anything, we'll keep you posted. So keep it here. Subscribe on our channel so that whenever we post a new video, you can be notified. That is it from us, ladies and gentlemen. Until next time, bye-bye.